Good evening, dear students. In this video, I am going to discuss topic Fermi-Dirac distribution function and Fermi energy level. So let us discuss these two topics one by one. First of all, what is Fermi-Dirac distribution function? The Fermi-Dirac distribution function, it is denoted by Fe. What is F? E. F is called Fermi-Dirac distribution function, and E means F is function of E. E is energy here. So what is this basically Fermi-Dirac distribution function? This Fermi-Dirac distribution function is basically gives the probability that a given energy state having energy capital E, it is occupied by any electron at temperature capital T. So mathematical it is written as Fe is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e raised to power e minus Ef over kT. Where what is this E? This E is the energy. And what about Ef? Ef it is the Fermi energy. K, here K it is called Boltzmann constant, having value 1.38 10 raised to power 23. It is units are joule per Kelvin. And what about T? T is any temperature at which we want to find the probability. So what is the significance of this Fermi-Dirac distribution function? This Fermi-Dirac distribution function basically it gives the probability that a given state, let us suppose we are having a number of states like this. We are having energy states. So let us suppose this is state having energy, let us suppose this state is having energy E1, this state is having energy E2, or this state is having energy E. So what is the probability? Word probability is very important. So what is the probability that this state which is having energy capital E, it is occupied by any electron at temperature capital T. So this probability is given by Fermi-Dirac function or Fermi-Dirac distribution function denoted by Ft. This is the expression of Fermi-Dirac distribution function. So, in order to explain this whole Fermi-Dirac distribution function in detail and what is its significance, first of all, let us try to understand the effect of temperature on Fermi-Dirac distribution function, or I can say the Fermi-Dirac distribution function for different values of temperature. So, how it varies with temperature. So, let us first of all take the case that at T equal to 0, when temperature is taken as 0. So, you know Fermi-Dirac distribution function, it is 1 upon 1 plus e raised to power e minus Ef over kT. So, first of all take the case E greater than Ef. Now, what is the meaning of this case E greater than Ef? So, for that let me draw a diagram. Let us suppose this is conduction band and it is valence band. Fine. The uppermost level of valence band, let us suppose it's having energy EV, and lowermost level of conduction band is having energy EC. Now here in case of intrinsic semiconductor, we are having Fermi energy levels somewhere in between valence and conduction band. So at the middle of valence and conduction band, there is energy gap. This gap is called energy gap. This gap. This is energy gap. Fine. This is energy gap. So EF is the Fermi energy level. So first of all, I am taking the case that E is greater than EF. E greater than EF means we are having some energy level within the conduction band. E greater than EF means there is energy level somewhere within the conduction band which is having energy capital E. So I am talking about level within the conduction band. So when E is greater than EF, let us try to understand. Let us try to derive what is the value of Fe. So Fe will be 1 upon 1 plus it is e raised to power e minus Ef over kT. Since E is greater than Ef, that means this term is positive. E minus Ef, it is positive. Moreover, temperature T, capital T, it is 0. Fine. So capital T, it is 0, but E minus Ef, it is positive. So positive over 0, it will be infinity. And e raised to power infinity, it is infinity. So 1 upon infinity, 1 over infinity, it will be 0. So Fermi-Dirac function, the value of Fermi-Dirac function is 0 for any level within the conduction band. Now let us take the case 2. Case 2 means when E is less than Ef. E is less than Ef means energy level is somewhere in between valence band. So for E less than Ef, what will be the Fe? So Fe, since E minus Ef. So E minus E is less than Ef means E minus Ef is negative now. Now this term is negative. So Fe will be 1 upon 1 plus e raised to power minus infinity, putting t equal to 0. So minus infinity e raised to power minus infinity is 0. So 1 upon 1 plus 0 is 1. That means for any level within the valence band, for any level within the valence band, the Fermi distribution function is 1. That means the probability of filling the any level within the valence band is 1. Fine. I will explain in form of this whole concept in form of graph also. So this is the graph. This I was trying to explain. So if I plot the graph between E energy along x-axis and Fe, that is Fermi-Dirac distribution function along y-axis. So let us try to understand. Here E is equal to 0 and here E is equal to Ef. Fine. So here E is equal to Ef. So we know that when E is less than Ef, what was value of Fe? Fe is 1, and for E greater than Ef, Fe is 0. So for E less than Ef, the value of Fe it is 1. This I have plotted. The value of Fe it is 1. But when E will be greater than Ef, this Fermi-Dirac, the value of Fermi-Dirac distribution is 0. So it decreases to 0. Fine. So this is the plot. This is the plot between Fe and E. For E less than Ef, Fe is 1, and for E greater than Ef, the value of Fe is 0, 0. So this is the plot between Fe and E. Fine. Now next. So next, let us take the value of temperature as 300 Kelvin. We can take any temperature. It may be 300, 400. So first of all, I am taking the case at capital T equal to 300 Kelvin. So what will be the value of this KT? First of all, we will calculate this value. So this value of KT, it will be, let us try to find the value of KT here. So let me, this K it is, as I already told you, value of K is 1.38 10 raised to power minus 23. It's minus 23, and T it is 300 Kelvin. So this value is in now joule. This value is in joule. So in order to convert it into electron volt, we'll divide it by 1.6 10 raised to power minus 90. So this value, if you calculate, it will be 0.026 electron volt. So value of Kt, you can use this value of Kt in numericals also. At T equal to 300 Kelvin, the value of Kt is 0.026 electron volt. So again, case 1, first of all, we'll take the case for any energy level placed within the conduction band. For any energy level within the conduction band. I am considering this is conduction and this is valence. Fine. So for E greater than EF means, it is clear from this figure, any level within this conduction band. Here we are having a level. So Fe equal to 1 plus, it is E minus EF over KT. If E is greater than EF, let us take the value of E as EF plus KT. Fine? Here we are having EF. So I am taking the value of E as EF plus KT. EF plus KT at energy level above KT. Let us take an arrow from here, this one. Energy level, this. So this energy is KT. So E is EF plus KT. So for EF plus KT, what will be Fe? E minus EF is KT. So it will be 1 plus, we know that Fe it is. I am writing here also. E minus EF over KT. So E minus EF is KT. So it will be KT upon KT. So it is cancelled, and 1 plus e raised to power 1. If I take the value of E as 2.71, so F it comes out to be 0.27. So now you observe that for temperature greater than 0 Kelvin, for any temperature greater than 0 Kelvin, the probability of filling the energy level within conduction band is no more 0. Now it is increased from 0. Previously it was 0, but now it is 0.27. So probability of filling the conduction band is increased as temperature is increased. So next, the second case for E less than EF. Temperature is 300 Kelvin. E less than EF means if it is EF, so I am considering energy level E here, where E is below KT. How much? Where E is below EF. How much? E is below EF by the value of KT. This one. E is below EF by the value KT. So E equal to EF minus KT. So E minus EF will be minus KT. So put the value of E minus EF as minus KT. You will get 1.1 plus E raised to power minus 1. Put the value of E as 2.71. So F is 0.73. So it means previously when temperature was 0, the probability of filling this valence band was 1. But now as temperature is increased, the probability of filling the valence band is decreased to 0.73. Fine. So we can say that as temperature is increased, the probability of filling the valence band is decreasing and probability of filling the conduction band is increasing. That is why conductivity of the semiconductor increases with the increase of temperature. So this is the conclusion. This is the conclusion which we have drawn from this derivation, from this whole article. So what is the conclusion? I repeat, as temperature increases, the probability of filling valence band decreases, but as that of filling conduction band increases. So this is the conclusion from this article. And what about third case? Here I would like to take third case also when E equal to EF. So at T 300 Kelvin, when E equal to EF, this F it will become e raised to power 0.80. So e raised to power 0 is 1. So this probability is 0.5. It means the probability of filling this Fermi energy level. Probability of filling this Fermi energy level is 1 by 2. It is 0.5. So it has 50% chances of filling this Fermi energy level. So if I plot the graph between Fe and E at different temperature. This I have already discussed at T equal to 0. This portion I will show. Yes, like this. This portion I have already discussed at T equal to 0. So this plot with blue line, this is for T equal to 0. So this probability I have already told you that below EF the probability is 1, but above EF probability is 0. But when temperature is increased, let us take the temperature T1 as, let us suppose I am taking T1 as 300 Kelvin. So what will happen at 300 Kelvin? We know now the probability of filling the valence band is decreased from 1. It is decreasing from 1, but the probability of filling the conduction band is increasing. So probability like this. This will be the curve, this. So here the probability is not 1, it is decreasing. And within conduction band it is not 0, now it is increasing. As temperature is increased more, let us suppose T2 is greater than T1, let us suppose T2 as 400 Kelvin. So at 400 Kelvin, the probability of filling this valence band will be decreased more. So this probability is decreased more. No, it is not 1. This Fe, the value of Fe is not 1, it is decreased. It is decreased more, but that of filling the conduction band is increased more than that of T1. So this is the plot between Fe and E at different temperatures. Fine. Next. So next, there is one more implication from this illustration. There is one more inference which we can draw from this illustration, that we know that in case of semiconductor we have one valence band, one conduction band, and in between valence and conduction we have band gap. Fine. The origin of this band gap between valence and conduction band, that can be explained with the help of band theory of solids. This can be explained with the help of KP model, KP Crone-Penny model. KP basically explained the existence of forbidden energy gap between valence and conduction band. This we will discuss later on. But this thing we know that we have valence and conduction, and in between valence and conduction this is conduction and this is just wait, yes, so this is conduction and this is valence, and in between valence and conduction we have, this is called band gap. This is called band gap in between conduction and valence. Now one thing which here you should note that at higher temperatures a large fraction of electron can bridge this gap and participate in electrical conduction. This I have already explained you, that as temperature is increased, large fraction of electrons can jump from valence to conduction band, can cross this gap and participate in conduction. Now, one more thing, So you can note that Fermi function has finite value within this band gap. The value of Fermi function, that is Fe, it has finite value within this band gap. But even then, the number density of charge carriers, number density means the number of electrons per unit volume within this band gap, it is 0. Why it is so? So here the number density Ne, number density of charge carriers or number density of electron, it is product of Fe and Ze. So this is one more significance of Fe. So it also helps to find the number density. So number density, that means the number of electrons which will be available, the number of electrons which will be there, whether in either in valence or conduction or forbidden gap, that number or in any energy level E, that number is equal to product of two terms. What are those two terms? One is this Fermi energy function, this Fermi Dirac function, and second it is the density of states. So number of states, density of states. That means how many seats are available, how many energy levels are available. So the number of energy levels multiplied by the probability that those energy levels are filled. That will give you density of electrons at any energy level E. Right? So we can know that within this forbidden energy gap, the density of states is basically 0. This density of states here basically Zt is 0. We don't have any energy levels within this forbidden energy gap. That is why it is called forbidden energy gap. We don't have any energy levels. Uh, so the density of states within this energy level is 0. That is why Ne, the number density of electron is 0 within this energy gap. So this I have written that. Note that although the Fermi function has finite value within this forbidden energy gap, but there is no electron population. Why? There is no electron population because in the gap there are no electrons because the density of states is 0. Here Ze is 0, density of states is 0. That is why Ne is 0. Fine. So population depends upon product of Fermi function and electron density of states. Population will depend upon Fermi function and density of states. That means how many seats are available, multiply the probability, it is the probability of filling those seats or states. So that will give you the population of states. Let's discuss the case within the conduction band. So for conduction band, so within the conduction band, what happens in conduction band? At T equal to 0, at temperature 0 Kelvin. So we noted that within this conduction band, at T equal to 0 Kelvin, here Fe is 0. We notice that Fe is 0. So again Ne is 0. So within conduction band at T equal to 0, the population of charge carriers is 0. That is why semiconductor is said to be insulator at 0 Kelvin, because there are no free charge carriers in conduction band and hence conduction doesn't take place. But as temperature is increased, the value of Fe becomes finite and hence population also increases. So at high temperature, both the density of states and Fermi function have finite value. So there is finite conducting population. Done. So that was about Fermi-Dirac function. Next we will discuss about Fermi energy level. So what is Fermi energy level now? So Fermi energy level. So let us, what happens basically, even in your classroom, when student enters, so there is one pattern according to which they are to fill their seats. First of all, the first bench is filled. Let us suppose this is the first bench, this is the second bench, this is the third bench. So even in your classroom, so first of all, the first bench will be filled. This is first, then second, then third. Fine. Let us suppose here you have two chairs. First bench is consisting of two chairs. So first of all, when student enters the class, the first student will occupy this seat. When second student enters, it will occupy this seat. Now when third student enters, it will occupy second desk. And when fourth enters, it will occupy fourth desk of second bench. And similarly, so similarly, the filling of electron take place in energy level. So in energy level, the filling of electron take place according to Pauli's exclusion principle. So Pauli's exclusion principle says that when that means in one energy level, Pauli's exclusion principle says that in one energy level, two electrons can stay with the opposite spin. So when electrons start distributing in different energy level, initially they fill lowest energy states. According to Pauli's exclusion principle means initially two electrons are filled in this state but with opposite spin. Then next states are filled, then next states are filled, then next states are like this. This will be filled, then this will be filled, and so on. So the highest filled level, this is the highest filled level at 0 Kelvin. This level is called Fermi level. This level is called Fermi level. So Fermi level, it is the highest filled level at 0 Kelvin. So in your classroom, let us suppose you are having 10 desks, right? And only 6 student enters. So the first bench will be filled, second will be filled, third. So third bench will be your Fermi level because that is the highest filled level at 0 Kelvin. So this I have written here. Maximum 2 electrons with opposite spin can stay in one energy level. So first pair will occupy this energy level, next pair will occupy this energy level. So if this process is continued, so this I have written the highest filled level at 0 Kelvin is called Fermi level. So it is the highest filled level at 0 Kelvin. Fine. So now the question is, what is the significance of this Fermi energy level? What is the significance of this Fermi energy level? This plays a very important role in band theory of solids. So what happens basically in case of p-type or n-type semiconductor? This is the case of intrinsic semiconductor. This is conduction band. This is valence band. And for intrinsic semiconductor, Fermi energy level lies somewhere in between conduction and valence, the band gap. Fine, at the center. This is for intrinsic. But what happens when we dope the semiconductor? Either with pentavalent impurities. In case of n-type semiconductor, we dope with pentavalent impurities, and p-type semiconductor, we dope with trivalent impurities. So what is the effect of adding the impurities? So in n-type semiconductor, the effect of adding the impurities is that the conduction increases. So conduction increases basically the free in case of n-type semiconductor, when we add extra impurity, the free electrons that increases. Since now the free electrons have been increased, it means the highest field level at 0 Kelvin will also shift. So for n-type semiconductor, this Fermi level shift towards conduction band. This is for n-type. For n-type semiconductor, the position of Fermi level, it shifts. It is near the just below the conduction band, near the conduction band. Why? Because the free charge carriers, the number of free electron increases in case of n-type semiconductor, and hence Fermi energy level also shifts. And what happens in case of p-type semiconductor? In case of p-type semiconductor, we add trivalent impurities, and effect of adding trivalent impurities that the number of free holes increases. The number of free holes increases, and the effect on energy level is that now the Fermi level shifts near the valence band. So for this is for p-type. For p-type semiconductor, the Fermi level shifts near the valence band. Fine. So this is the significance of Fermi energy level, that the Fermi energy level is shifted by the impurity. So it basically helps to determine the conductivity of semiconductor. So according to conductivity, it shifts. For N type it shifts towards conduction, and for P type it shifts towards valence band. So this is the reference of my presentation or of this video. So this was all about Fermi drag distribution function and Fermi energy level. So thank you very much.